work with. You capitalized on it. You did everything you needed to do, got 30 points off of it. Okay, now how you build off of that, right? And that's kind of what we're looking at going into today. Can they build off of that performance that they had yesterday? And that's something that we've talked about in the past, Cameron, where if you get a start in some of these leagues, you could start a snowball going.
Yeah, it's already, I mean, not to say what's been said so many times before, but an 11-point lead after only 4 games from second place is a really good. That's a good start to a snowball. It might not be what's the word, unsurmountable from the teams below, but like even if they don't reach the 52 points a day every single day, if they just play like a B game throughout the rest, and it's got to be up to the teams trying to come up to have an even better day.
It's very true. We'll see if they can find a little bit of the success. God, that was a difficult word for me to say for some reason. Let's see if they can find some of the success they found on Erangel here on Miramar. Now, the second game 2, they didn't really do too well. Now, game 1, they actually performed pretty well. They got, let me take a look at my stats here. They got 11 points in that first game with second place and 5 kills. So it's not outside of the realm of possibility that Veritas could find some success here on Miramar.
Yeah, we'll see though, because we also need to mention that the circles were favorable. A bit on the wilder side on average overall yesterday. If we get some calmer circles, we'll wonder that could give maybe a little bit of an olive branch out to some teams that struggled a bit yesterday to see if they can't continue to put these points up. But enough about Veritas. We know they're great. We've sort of run that into the ground. I don't know what Jazz is shooting at there. Maybe just testing out his recoil.
Well, if you wanted to have a nice friendly circle to start things off today, you got your wish as we center right on up over, well, just off to the southwest of San Martin, I guess is where our center is going to be, right over there on, guess who? Veritas.
Veritas, yeah.
You don't want to talk about them anymore, but now all of a sudden they got center circle.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they're going to control all this, though, because obviously those ridge lines down where you can see Keenan on the map is just above Picado can be a very strong place to hold. But it can also, maybe you disagree with this, but I feel like it can also be a little closed in where it can be difficult. It's hard for control trying to span up towards the north. We've seen a couple of games that a number of teams are all crowded in that single ridge line. So Veritas might need to make a decision on, do they want to get a place that is close to center and try to turtle down in, or do they want to branch out from the centermost position to try and maybe deter other teams and not let other teams get super comfortable?
It's also the question of power. Excuse me. There's also the question of power grid, which not just in NA and not just in scrims, but all over the world, we've seen power grid be just a magnet for early and mid-game fighting. Teams apparently just have no problem trying to crash either the north or south side of that power grid and try to work through it and fight whoever they can find. So there's a possibility there for some early scrapping. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see what happens. Now, another story that we haven't really talked about yet because there hadn't really been a whole lot to talk about, STK. They, came in with such, great expectations placed upon their shoulders, but a few games with really lousy circles for them. I got to say, I'm kind of impressed that they managed to pull out 24 points out of yesterday.
And I feel like the majority of those points are all from the man Alo himself. This is not to say that the team as a whole is playing bad, but yeah, of those 24 points, 13.33 of them are from Alo alone. So he is the man who is really trying to hang on in there. And the other 3 guys, again, they're not all performing bad. You mentioned the circles made it a bit rough for them. Not the only team. There are a couple in that mix. But SK is definitely one of them, and being one of the top 3 teams, consider the top 3 teams in North America, considered one of the favorites to win this. Definitely want to have a better day. And because this circle is so center, not very far at all from where they drop here around Hacienda, I think this is going to be the benchmark to see if yesterday was because of the circle, or are we getting a repeat of PCS2 where they just have a complete stinker on the first week?
Well, there are 16 teams in this lobby. One of the teams that I would definitely put my chips in on being able to recover from a bad day or even a bad weekend is STK. We'll see everybody kind of making their rotations in here. Soniqs leaving Picado, sending 2 early, just to the south of water treatment. We'll see how far they decide to go with it, especially considering this is just the scouting party. They left 2 down in Picado. Looks like they'll leave Tiggleton here, do a little scouting here. And no shots being fired anywhere across the map right now, Cameron. So all your scouting is going to have to be done with your eyes.
It is very, very quiet on the central front. Everyone's just rolling in, Fabled as well, trying to come up with this hill close towards center. You can see a lot of teams have already congregated around this area. Not only have we seen a couple of teams have this as their initial loot spot, ATC moved a couple of feet closer in. Dodge, I think, moved a couple of feet closer in. Greg Shot here should be able to spot out Dodge, definitely doing their due diligence here to see if this area is clear, but I think maybe behind cover. Fabled might not be 100% certain that someone is inside here. Oh, a couple of shots there. Where was that at?
No visible vehicles there either. Oh, they're taking the long-range shots.
Yeah, Illusion are taking shots at them, trying to take out their tires. This could push Fabled into that compound without fully scouting out.
We'll have to see. It looks like they're going to go ahead and pull off of this for the time being, smoking off the buggy just to make sure they maintain all available tires. And maybe this is just a little bit of a vehicle reposition. They're going to hold their position for the time being. Now, Illusion, another team that a couple of people, I know I'm one of them, had as a possible underdog pick coming into this. Free Me Please and Icy Flex taking the shots down onto Fabled right now. But yesterday, a little bit of a slow start. 14 points currently, sitting in 10th place.
Yeah, and we didn't really see the full super dynamic play that we've come to expect from them, from PCS3 at least. Their points overall really aren't looking that great. We still see Show putting up some good numbers, but it's really Top Dog leading the board for them, and Icy Flex, who was sort of their top fragger, not the carry of the team. They're all putting in good amount of work together, but definitely the top numbers hasn't shown up in the same way yesterday.
Uh-oh. Looks like we will see our first down here as Voxic will be knocked at range by Finna. Looks like Gascan should be able to get that res up as we check in with McCoy and the Rumblers. Yep, there you see the boy. I think Finna was the one who got the knock on him, but Gascans, oh man, they were looking so good for game number 1 as they held down the red bricks there, and then maybe spreading out a little bit too wide, maybe getting a little bit greedy. Gascans, their kind of mantra really through PCS3 and in scrims leading up into the grand finals has been attack, 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 and they have found success with it. They have found a measure of success with it. Now, at least through one day in grand finals, I feel like their aggressiveness maybe hurt them a little bit more than it helped them, as we see them currently sitting on 14 points still. We'll have to see if they can turn things around as we check in here with Comets. Lowest, 7 points for Comets. I was definitely expecting a little bit more out of this squad.
Yeah, I think a lot of us were, and I'm sure the Comets were as well. Right now they're coming in from around the Los Leones area. Good wide spread to take. Spotted a couple of shots onto Duel. Not going for Penta, specifically trying to go for the tires, and actually that's both of them taken out on the right side. But then Murata has already built up enough speed there. That's more just a war of attrition at this point. No real kill confirm even attempt there.
We'll see what Comets decide to do for the rest of this game. They are coming in as the most southeasterly team. Not necessarily on the edge, but they are the furthest out. As we check in with STK, doing a 2-2 split between the southern half of San Martin and, kind of a 2-1-1 if you look at it. On Civ with the high ground, Luke with the low, as they try to gain information on everything that's around them right now.
I will say the two split players on Civil and Luke, they are already in their vehicles ready for this circle shift just in case. And yes, the center up a little bit towards the north. It looks like they are going to commit to grouping up all four with Purdy and Alo were, which I think is the right decision. But Patron.
Whoop. I'm not sure what happened to Light Show there. That did not look natural.
That's one way to say it.
We're, unfortunately, DC's happened, and that looked like Light Show might have been the victim right there. As One Eye Open, we'll at least get a knock off of it. We'll see if they can get the flush. One Eye Open actually not doing too bad yesterday, all things considered. I think this was a team that kind of barely scraped into the grand finals here, and not a lot of expectations placed upon them, and they seem to be doing okay for the time being. As oh no, William actually steals it from them.
Ooh, nah, yeah, you tried to gas them up a little bit there, but fortunately not going to happen. They're going to be sticking on their 12 points at least so far. 12 points, 9 kills for them. Yes, I think better than expected if you look at their position on the leaderboard, but
it's not great.
It's really hard to sort of like, are they going to stay in 12th place is the real question, because with so few points,
I'm not pumping them up for a big day 2 comeback here, Cam. I'm just saying that there were a couple of games in there where One Eye looked like they were fairly competent and belonged in this lobby in a couple of particular team fights, but they still got some work to do.
Yeah, I know. They're one of the newer teams to this level of PUBG. You can't expect immediate success, not from everyone, but STK, opening kill, a full kill, not even just a knock onto Balefrost. Again, as STK, when they're given a good position, they just like to spread out. They like to take control, and immediately whittling down Oath to 3 players is definitely a strong sign of that. Oath coming in onto the area that STK had just given up when they had their split, when they pulled in together as a more set group of 4. Dodge over here, though, not been attacked still. Fable just decided to stay in the position just north of this area.
Rumblers being held out a little bit, and look at your mini-map. Uh-oh, Comet's coming right on top of him. The shots are going to come out. Lands on Vegas. 1 will hit, 2 will hit. Gaxi will get the down and the flush, and Comets loses 1 in rotation as they run right through the Rumblers. They're going to find another one, too, as Yaxley will go down to McCoy. We got one more trying to make their way through. That's going to be Monty. Can he get it? He's going to actually stop, and he's going to go down as well. Rumblers pick up 3 easy ones in the transition there on Comets.
I don't know if that was set up on purpose. We know the Rumblers like to really abuse this specific highway coming out from Los Leones and also Picado, but this almost looked like a moment of opportunity for Rumblers. They're trying to figure out how they can break through the hardships gas cans hold. And the Comets come streaming on by, not expecting the Rumblers to be there, and they lose 3 because of that. A really bad start towards the day for them. One Eye Open, on the other hand, though, after, getting the knock on the show, stolen by Tactical 8, but still pulling in, getting a more central position just off of the San Martin border, away from the edge, because these edge positions are starting to get crowded, especially on the north and the southwest.
Backfilling after ATC decided to leave that spot, and that's going to be a nice circle for One Eye. ATC, meanwhile, they decided to basically combine their forces there on the southern side of San Martin for the center circle position, giving up that compound that One Eye Open has now occupied. You can see everybody now on the move. Keeping in mind, San Martin is still in, so the likelihood of seeing a couple of teams try to do a full crash into the city pretty high here, as the likelihood of seeing some fighting on the edges, probably even better.
Probably even better. And a number of the teams on the north side, not necessarily expecting the shift, because you can't expect a hard shift like that every single time, quite spread out, because they're more likely having to push into the circle further on. They're got to make a decision. I'm looking at Illusion specifically of whether they want to stay spread out or try and converge together to hold a single point. And Team Veritas, they're pushing into San Martin, as you said, but STK got here first. ATC have been in this position previously, but look how immediately STK has spread out and tried to take as much of this as possible. They weren't too far from this area. They were just on the rocks right above it, so they had the information that it was all free to go. They had the pick of the litter of the positioning.
Here we go. Gas cans making their way in. They're going to run into the 2-2 split of Dodge, as we see Honey Badger, I think, maybe figuring out what is going on right now, but gas cans have never been one to shy away from a fight. Waldo will actually get the opening down onto Dodge, and that's actually going to give away Rumbler's position as gas cans take the fight back towards them. And meanwhile, Duel's going to seat swap it onto Pack Caps, run him over, and that's going to be 2 down for Oath now in transition in the early game. Now, Snakers and Relo have made their way a little bit farther off to the north. You can see Duel still heading in that direction, though, so it's likely that these two will run into each other again.
Yeah, I mean, losing 2 at the very beginning is obviously not a good start for Oath. you're hard pressed to pick a better duo to have left remaining from Relo and Snakers, but still being down to 2 is never a priority here. They are going to grab this compound. Duel don't want to push their luck too much. They're going to stick into a compound right on the edge. And then back on the gas cans dodge fight, you can see the Rumbler still slowly edging in. They don't want to full commit to this fight, mostly picking up little third-party action here and there.
Ooh.
But Dodge not letting the commit happen 100% from gas cans just yet.
Gascades has time to work this fight out as they are inside the circle. Meanwhile, in the kill feed, you can see STK doing work on Veritas over there in San Martin. The shot's going to trade out. Olis and Finna will get down to about 20% health as now Gascans have gotten all 4 together. I think they've realized that the split is on from Dodge here and that they have superior numbers, but it's a difficult spot to push into this hard compound here. As Finna, Lampalot will try to hold it. Or actually, Lampalot on the high ground, trying to reposition to get a better angle onto this fight to provide some support. Olis gets knocked low again. Olis gets knocked out completely by the shots from Waldo. The smoke will come out. They'll try to return a little bit of fire. Voxic will get the down onto Gaxi as this 3-way fight is just taking a while to kind of manifest here. And meanwhile, the new circle has popped, and these guys are outside of the camp.
Yeah, but Dodge can't really do much. Rumblers doing their best to help their friends in Dodge out, it feels like. The revival on Otis is coming through, but that's a well-primed nade. Honey Badger's going to push forward aggressively to counter it. And that, a little bit unexpected, but he doesn't get the knock.
Knock would have been really nice there. Good Molotov is going to prevent the push. Badger will get lit by it a little bit here, and Rumblers, for their part, looks like they're content to stay on their ridge line. Honey Badger will go down to a nice shot from Danny, as Gascan's still trying to figure out how to breach the tower defense here from Dodge. A very difficult spot to peek as Nikos will find Finna. That's going to open the door, and Nikos will push up. He's about half HP, a little less than half HP here, as Danny will find one as he holds the doorway. He's going to get the flush as well. The shot's going to come through from Nikos, not going to find anything as Danny just works the corner. And now Nikos has Voxic with him there, trying to put together the push. They got to go as 2, but Danny could easily wipe both of them here. Nikos goes first. He'll get followed up by Voxic. They should be able to get both of these reses off, but Lampalot is in the compound and could come at any time.
Still just not the best execution here by the gas cans. Like, I think they'll be able to keep all 3 up, but they would have wanted to be a lot cleaner than this because the Rumblers have now taken position high ground to keep them out, to gatekeep them. And yes, Gascan's got a couple of points off of this engagement, whether or not they can get Lampalot out. But their push on from here to get inside the circle is going to be a very, very difficult one.
Rumblers still taking shots down over the top. You can see Soniqs also in a position to maybe get an angle on that. Looks like they have actually spotted out ATC, who's trying to go uphill in a bang bust. Never the fun thing to do. They're going to lose Marcelic. They might lose Aguila as well. Yes, they do. That's 2 down for ATC as the rest of the boys are still a little bit closer to center here. And now, yeah, Soniqs gets spotted out by Rumblers as Rumblers comes up over the top. Rumblers doing a really nice job working the edge right now.
I think they also got shot by One Eye Open just a little bit. Lampalot does go down to the blue, so that's dodged out in 15th place. That's going to open at least a little bit of space for gas cans if they see that in the kill feed. But they are still going to have to work through the Rumblers, as you mentioned, trying to hold along this edge. A lot of flash is going to come out to keep gas cans uncomfortable, and they're still not fully healed up.
This is a really tough push here for gas cans. They've got the blue on their back. It's creeping. It's crawling. Rumblers, meanwhile, continue to throw the utility. They continue to reposition, try to find angles on this. McCoy will get the rock, but Honey Badger will come up over the top. He'll find one, but Waldo will make short work of him, and Nikos and Voxic will both go down as well as Rumblers finish off the gas cans, but not without losing Los HD. But 7 kills now on the board for Rumblers as they are just destroying teams on this southwestern edge.
Taking full advantage of fights that are happening in front of them. Rumblers are cleaning up. Back here on San Martin, a lot of teams trying to escape from it. SDK in the well away, and One Eye Open as well with a nice 2-2 spread themselves, but Hardship trying to push in through buildings, trying to clear everything out in front of them. The Luke spots once, creeping up the stairs, not caught at all, able to fully finish out Uncivil as well without getting traded. Lobes does go down from Patron. And they're also going to have to work because the blue is pushing in 30 seconds. A lot of smoke's coming out to cross the road, and that's going to give a little bit of time for STK to maneuver themselves around and stop the continual push.
As you said, a tough fight coming out here is... Oh, Patron's going to find Lobes immediately after he gets res here. Maluk, though, will find one. He's not going to find Luke 12, though. It's so close. Luke 12 has about 20 HP, and J-Sank actually going to pull off the res of Lobes just to rush in here and try to finish off STK. He's not going to do it, though. Luke 12, quick on the trigger, will find him, and now we'll get the res onto Alo. But Veritas has to have been seeing this happen in their kill feed. They've got to worry a little bit about One Eye Open, but you can tell they are very concerned about trying to finish off STK.
Well, a lot of teams up here on the northeast side, though. A little bit of a delayed push from Zenith. A lot of grenades coming out. They're coming in as a full stack of 4, but there's so many teams all surrounding them. Tactical Aid have 4 up. Duel, I believe, have 4 up. And then, of course, there's Leda still remaining from the comments. Not dead yet. Okay, I say that. Just got taken out. But the flashes are coming out from Tactical Aid. Not going to allow Zenith to push in. And look at the flank by Steezy.
Steezy BB will find one, but he's going to get immediately traded out. It's all left now to William with the nice hair on the low flank here. Kickstart has about 5 HP left in the barrel, but William's just going to make sure he flushes out the rest of this, but he's going to get taken down by Keenan, or Kickstart rather, as Zenith will get traded out, and now Duel is coming up over the top to try to third party on this, and they could find a lot of free kills here waiting.
Ooh, they don't know that Zenith are eliminated. They're looking at those bodies. They're the wrong bodies. Spots his flash coming out. Pentalo's going to have to back away. This could give the time for Tactical 8 to get the revive. The Molly as well to try and delay the push. Lush holding the ridge line. Here's the footsteps, but doesn't want to overpeak.
Duel does need to be a little bit concerned about Illusion on their backside here, just playing from the west. And it looks like they're actually getting shot from behind. There you go. Free Me Please going to find Penta, and that's going to put a hold onto the push of T8, and allowing T8 to get both reses up, everybody healed, and now they are back in business. They'll most likely play this ridge line just inside circle. They'll peek over the top. They'll spot Cherry, take a few shots from Lush, not going to find anything. But Cherry, oh, there you go. He's going to hit one. He's going to hit two. Cherry, got to watch out for that blue zone. It's going to pull him down if he's not careful, and Free Me Please actually going to be the one to force Lush back down.
Duel are still in a very uncomfortable position, but no knocks against them just yet from either Illusion or Tactical 8. The circle pulls away. You can see that is going to deter Illusion from trying to go on that push so aggressively, trying to get to the circle, trying to get the hard cover that you can see inside on the northern edge. And this will allow Duel to get their feet back under them. Smokes have been deployed. They see that Illusion have backed away, and they're going to try and force the fight a second time against Tactical 8. Of course, getting shot in the back. Still, Illusion, they're not that far away yet.
And that's the problem. They had to come up over the top. They're going to find one. They're going to find two. How does Wooly get both of those? Unbelievable as T8 gets taken out. Zealot tried to go for the far push. He pushed onto One Eye Open's compounds. The Zealot is still alive. Steezy is still alive in the shack. But what a push there from Wooly. Unbelievable shooting there as he manages to get two. And now Steezy going to come up over the top. He's going to find a couple of shots into Linksy. Won't get the down. Yes, he will. As he finds one, he finds two. And now Steezy trying to keep hope alive for Tactical 8.
Ooh, the confidence to know that Molotov wasn't going to get inside his building there. Trying to hold it down. 6 kills for them already.
Oh.
And now Penta gets removed because Illusion go on the push to try and clean up. Trying to establish control of their edge. Blue pushing in as well. But what can the rest of Tactical 8 do?
Well, T8 staying alive right now. Zealot actually going to find the down and a flush onto One Eye Open. One Eye Open just been hanging out in this compound, feasting off of everything coming out of San Martin. They finished off Veritas, but now they've lost one. They're down to 3, and they have to make their way inside of the circle. And Soniqs is just waiting to eat their lunch here as we see T8 just working the edge of the circle. Steezy all by himself, trailing right behind Illusion. It's Free Me Please and Icy Flex still up for them, but you can see Soniqs in a good position here, but One Eye has to leave this compound, and it is rough sledding, Cam.
Yeah, they have 6 kills. They've worked the center very, very well since they were given such a strong position. I believe it was phase 2. But now they're going to have to leave that high ground. Soniqs in the way as established. On the low ground, we'll see if One Eye Open could work that, but that also could mean that they could get spotted by either ATC or even Steezy you could see in that shack, make this fight a little uncomfortable. In fact, they know that Tactical 8 still have at least one member just to the north of them. You could see them watching that position, a little unsure on exactly where the threats are.
Spot Tiggleton, take the shots, get him down to half HP, but it's not going to be enough to get the knock. He comes over the top, and Shrimzy eats him to death. Winlow will get taken very low, but he'll find one before having to drop down and go for the Heelman. Hardy, meanwhile, there for emotional support. Eventually, that's going to be it for him, though, as Hella comes up over the top. Fabled, who has been quietly sitting on the southwestern side of this circle in the compound, has just been picking off kills left and right, just being kind of quiet, but they're in a great position to win this game now, Cam.
Yeah, already 6 kills, still 4 up. Solid position. If they can hold off Illusion right now, they should be able to close the door with successful execution. You can see them spreading out. They're just trying to get the push. They want to take this Illusion fight as quickly as they can, but a lot of damage onto Greg's shot. He's going to get dropped and immediately flushed as well.
Nice shooting there from Icy Flex as he gets the down and the flush. As you said, Hexetti trying to keep an eye on the high ground as well, as they know that there is the potential threat of ATC right behind them. Soniqs still have 3 up. They're outside a circle on the east side, 1 down. Looks like they're going to try to get that res and should be able to do so, as we are down to our top 4 teams. You can see up there, Fabled, Soniqs, ATC, and Illusion. Fabled down to 3 now after Icy Flex made short work of Greg's shot. And now everybody just kind of listening for sound cues, waiting to figure out who's where.
Hexetti is key here. Once the Greg shot got taken out, uncomfortable with ATC and Soniqs so close to them. They're not going to wait for Illusion to come to them, but another knock against Soniqs onto H-Win this time around. Only 2 kills for them, and they keep needing to spend time and resources getting revives. Smoke's coming out. Tingleton spots 1. Shot planting at Rage with the red dot sight, able to knock Hella. That's the center control from Fabled gone.
Somebody forgot to tell Tingleton that we're in a barrel meta, as Sharp Shot will go down. Norcus will go down as well. Tig with the M4 Mini is going to finish off ATC. And that's the thing, Cam. We've been talking about it. Soniqs, they're taking knocks, but none of these knocks are getting flushed. They're able to get these guys back up. They're still 3 strong, and they have got a good position inside the circle. Meanwhile, Fabled is just having all types of problems with Illusion.
Yeah. Not able to get those kills. Illusion, you saw, tried to go a little aggressive there, but Fable had all backed up to try and converge onto Hella, onto that central position. They got the revive, so they're still up as 3v2 into the end game, but they're backing off from the high ground. Because again, they're so worried about this Illusion flank, and well, why wouldn't you be? Being caught between in a fight with Soniqs is bad enough without having another duo come in from the north side. So they're going to back away, allowing one of the other 2 teams, most likely Soniqs, to take control of this high ground. But they are still closer towards the center of the circle, trying to play for that in their favor.
Fable does get that center of the circle, as you just said. Soniqs, meanwhile, on the edge, you can kind of see the terrain that they're working with here. They're looking to see if they can find an angle. It's really, I feel like it's really just Fable sitting here and waiting to see if they can just defend themselves, hold their spot, and wait for Soniqs to make a move into Illusion. It really, all these teams are waiting just to be the third party. Nobody wants to be the first 2 parties. Everybody wants to be the third party on this one.
There's no real cover. I think the big issue is what's making these teams so uncomfortable. It's why Fabled is back down this hill so much, because if they were to push up even just a couple of more tens of meters, they're going to be spotted by both Soniqs and Illusion. So it makes perfect sense to them. But the Soniqs with the high ground, see if they can't work it. They are inching that way over towards Illusion. They don't want to push immediately onto Fabled. I feel like they're most likely lacking the information that both Fabled and even potentially Illusion have.
Now the shots are going to come out. Icy Flex will get the down on a rip. Hella will trade it out, but immediately will get traded back. It's down to Hexetti. It's down to 1. Free me, please. For Illusion, rather, and now that's just going to be the dinner bell ringing for Soniqs as they come up over the top. It's down to Hexetti. We'll see if he can maybe get 1 point out of this as he spots out Win, but that's not going to be enough. Win roasts him, and that's going to be Soniqs with their first win and 6 kills to go along.